Gosh, Tammy, I could have got that as I walked by. I wasn't even thinking.
That's odd.
Holy smokes!
You weren't given all rise.
Who is this guy? Holy smokes!
Means I wear my suit about as much as I want to. We have 4 court hearings this morning.
Becky, are you ready? Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We'll call the meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners to order. We will be following the Open Meetings Act, a copy of which is posted at the entry of the room. We'll also be meeting at 9:15 as Lincoln County Board of Equalization, again following the Open Meetings Act as amended, and a copy of which is posted at the entry of the room. First order of business is to open with prayer. Commissioner Wooler, please.
Please join me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today with gratitude in our hearts for living in Lincoln County and state of Nebraska. Please send your protections to all the people in the county that put themselves in danger for our protections. Law enforcement, first responders, and all of the people that support those entities. Also, be with our farmers and ranchers in this springtime planting season as they take their equipment out on our roadways. Also protect the people that share the roadways with them. Send us your wisdom and guidance as we make decisions that will affect everyone in our area. We say these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Next item is to approve the minutes of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners meeting held April 15th, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes regarding the Lincoln County Board of Commissioner meeting held April 15th, 2024.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Tammy, would you roll call that, please?
Wooler?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Bruns?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Next item is the claims and treasurer's receipts. I think we've had a chance to probably review those. I would entertain a motion on that.
Mr. Chairman. Okay. I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the claims and treasurer's receipts as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bruns?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Wooler?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Next item is authorize the chairman to sign a copier lease agreement and service agreement with EECS Office Solutions for the district court judges. I think we can do that. I'll refer to you, Tyler, but I did ask that Tammy get a original copy from EECS indicating that that would be county property. Right now it's made to Thank you.
How timely,
It's
yeah.
made, it says on the agreement, oh, did that already get changed? I thought it said district judge. Oh, it did, Lincoln County District Judge, full name. And so being a district judge would be a state employee, and the equipment actually is county equipment. So should it not say Lincoln County Board of Commissioners or something to that effect located at the district judge's office?
I don't really think that level of specificity is necessary. I mean, is it for your signature as chairman?
No, it does, but it doesn't say that. It says Lincoln County District Judge for the signature. They're authorizing me to sign, which I don't feel comfortable doing because I'm not a district judge.
Let me see it.
So were I a district judge, I'd be tickled to death to sign that. But I think that we need to have some clarity, even though I think we all understand what's happening. Looks pretty clear to me.
If you don't want to sign it, Joe, don't sign it.
Well, I'm asking you, if it's made out for the district judge and his name and signature printed, and the second half of the agreement is with Eeks, would it not make more sense to have the proper people that own that equipment and signing for it on the right-hand side of the agreement? That's a question.
I don't think it's necessary. I think the.
Okay, well, we'll leave it your way. That's fine.
Thank you.
Done.
I entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we authorize you to sign a copy or lease agreement and service agreement with Eeks Office Solutions for the district court judges.
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion?
That's with the understanding that the property, well, I guess at least so it doesn't belong to anybody.
It belongs to Eeks. It's simply
Yeah.
a lease agreement.
Yep.
Now, there's an option purchase agreement for $1 at the very end of it. I had discussed that with district court and encouraged them to come talk to the board before that option expires, should the county want to purchase that machine for $1 and then replace something else we have that's older. That's our right. So that is in there, that's been discussed with them.
It hadn't been discussed with us, Counselor, and that was part of my question, is I read the agreement and I realized that there's a buyout, as there are most leases that we have.
Joe, you never asked about the buyout. You asked about the floor line. If you want to talk about the buyout, we can.
You know, I'm not gonna argue with you. I have a different opinion. I'm gonna respect your opinion as our legal counsel, even though I'm the chair. And so I'm not gonna carry this on when I don't think we need to, okay?
And the lease comes up in a year or what? I haven't read it clear through it. At the end of the term of the lease, what is the term of the lease?
It's 60 months.
60 months.
It's a 5-year lease.
5-year lease. Okay, so in 5 years, we'll,
In 5 years, we can revisit the issue if we want to purchase it.
perfect,
Until then, they've got money in their budget to pay for it.
perfect.
That answers my question, is it budgeted, so.
Yep.
sounds
And
good.
so it's budgeted with county funds?
Like, I don't do a budget, Joe. District court's
Well,
right here.
listen. Then if you're gonna be that way, could I have a representative from district courts step up, please? You're shaking your head like you're disappointed or upset. I don't understand it as our legal representative, I'm sorry. I just don't.
Joe, I'll talk to you about it in my office after the meeting.
We may or we may not.
That's your choice.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Were
How
you
are you?
here to address this issue?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't
Answer
realize,
questions if
I
there are
didn't
any.
realize that. I'm sorry, I would have had you come up earlier.
That's
Please
fine.
introduce yourself and,
Cindy Volkmer, District Court Judge.
okay.
Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning.
So, Your Honor, I will ask you, is the state of Nebraska purchasing this, or is Lincoln County purchasing it?
Lincoln County is.
With Lincoln County funds, is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Lincoln County will be the owner, is that correct?
That's correct.
Would it make sense to you, Your Honor, to have Lincoln County listed that way as the owner and for it to be used by the state in the district judge's office?
So I believe the copy that I provided to you, the signature line and the title for the signator is blank. It just says that it's located in the District Court Judge's office.
Well,
If that's
it-
not what it says, then I provided you the wrong copy and I apologize.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, because it does say, the signature line is print, and then it says Lincoln County District Judge, but I'm not a Lincoln County District Judge.
Okay, can I see a copy?
You may.
Thank you.
Again, I want to point out, we're not owning it, we're leasing it.
I'm going to point out that, thank you, and I'll,
Okay, so I think what this is, I think this is the blank copy that I was provided. And so the print name and the title, so you have signature and then title is over to the right, the title is blank. And then
Oh,
it's just
that's a
saying
different one than I
for,
have,
and so
I'm
it's
sorry.
for the Lincoln County District Judge Office is what that for line is for.
oh, okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
Thank you
the
for
original
clarifying.
copy I got had my name and my title, and I said, I'm not the one to sign this. But it does say Lincoln County District Judge, that's just indicating that's where the office is going to be, or where the copier is gonna be located.
You made that very clear. Thank you, Your Honor, I appreciate that. That answers any and all questions I might have. Anybody
Okay.
else have a question?
My motion still stands.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Thank you very much, we appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Judge Holtner.
I'll let somebody else fill in the time. Thank you. Next item is receive and order file the feed report submitted by the county sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we receive and order filed the fee reports submitted by the county sheriff. There are two of them, one in the amount of $7,422.28, and the second one in the amount of $6,334.82.
Second.
A motion is second, any discussion? Roll call.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye. Sign this one, sign it all the way down.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Pull what I did earlier, like I mentioned. Could have been done. Okay. Next item is to authorize the chairman to sign the Calvel Cyber Risk Insurance Renewal Application.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we authorize your signature to sign the Cowbell Cyber Risk Insurance Renewal Application for the sake of conversation.
Second.
And this is a renewal, we've had this in the past.
Yeah, but I just have a couple questions.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Becky, have you seen a difference in the premium with this renewal application?
I have not.
Okay. I was looking through the documents and I couldn't see if there was any increase or anything, so.
Nothing specific about the premium that we needed to reapply.
So this is an application, not necessarily an agreement for services. They have to approve our application.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Tammy.
Bruns.
All right.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye. Morning, sir. Would you identify yourself?
Morning, Jason Schultz, Lincoln County Highway Superintendent.
Oh,
Need your signature.
did I not sign it? Must have been more than, sorry.
Page right there.
Where did I sign the wrong place?
No, there was several places
Oh.
to sign.
Okay. Okay,
Do you
I'm
do
gonna
that?
let them do
Okay.
that. Thank you. Okay, next item is authorize the chairman to sign a right-of-way application submitted by Freight Pivot Services Incorporated. I think we have that. Anything that you would like to address or mention, Jason?
Nope, been reviewed and no objections from roads department.
We do have a check signed in the amount of $201.98.
Looks like it's just a simple crossing of the Hartwell.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we authorize your signature on a right-of-way application submitted by Freight Pivot Services Incorporated.
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please, Tammy.
Bruns?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Next item is to authorize the chairman to sign the right-of-way application submitted by Steve Scholes, Ag Enterprises. Again, Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, this one's,
There is a check in the amount of $201.98.
And this
That's the same
one's-
amount as the last one.
yep, kind of the same thing, it's just
Okay.
a bore under a road, so fees are correct and no objections from roads.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move that we authorize your signature on the right-of-way application submitted by Steve Scholes, Ag Enterprises.
Second.
I have a motion and a second discussion. Roll call, Tammy.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Bruns?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Is this one left?
Yes.
Next item is authorize the chairman to sign the right-of-way application by McCook Public Power District. We do have a check in the amount of $383.91 enclosed. Jason, comments?
It's been reviewed and no objections, and this one we have already completed the pre-construction walk. They wanted to do that ahead of time, so we actually did that last week, so no objections from roads.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve and you sign the right-of-way application submitted by McCook Public Power District.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I do have some discussion. It says, cut poles off flush with ground and Hossicks will drag out C Dusty.
So their existing line is actually an overhead line that goes on private property. So that line is, for whatever reason, no longer feasible for them, so they're rerouting and gonna use an underground in the county right-of-way to reach that residence, so. Guess I didn't take too much attention to what they're doing on the private property with the existing line that they're gonna abandon, but.
That seems interesting. If that were my ground, I think I would want them probably handled a little better than that myself. but-
Sliced off at the ground level.
So, anyway, we have what we have. Any other discussion?
Have you been getting the digital plans for our logging of everything?
For a lot of the bigger projects I have. The small ones, like the crossings, I have not, but those are getting posted on both sides of the right-of-way there, so they're very easily
Okay,
able to capture those at a later date, so.
perfect.
Okay, roll call vote.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
This is it for
Had
payroll.
a little bit defeats what the purpose of what he has to have that usually, so we know exactly where they are, not just the big.
This is it for payroll.
Okay. And we will recess as Lincoln County Board of Commissioners, convene as Lincoln County Board of Equalization at 9:20, again following the Open Meetings Act as amended, a copy of which is posted at the entry of the room. The first item of business is to approve the minutes regarding the Board of Equalization meeting held on April 15th, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes regarding the Lincoln County Board of Equalization meeting that was held April 15th, 2024.
Second.
Have a motion and a second discussion. Roll call, please.
Bruns.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye. Next item are the certificates of correction and refund as submitted by the county assessor. I see none. Thank you, Julie. Motor vehicle tax exemptions are submitted by the county treasurer. Did we have any, guys?
We have a few.
Quite a few. Well, I'm sure Galen and Chris can handle them.
I'm sure we'll spread load these things.
This has been one made it over here for a while.
Thank you.
I can take them if you want me to.
No.
How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take 2 and pass them on.
Jared, sure.
Should we take all of them? You would have done it.
You don't need to worry about it.
Mr. Chairman, I have an application for exemption, Form 457 from Bethel Evangelical Free Church for a 2016 cargo trailer. For religious purposes, it'll be used to transport supplies to various ministries, locations, and events. It has been reviewed and approved by Lincoln County Treasurer Alex Gerchulo. It is my motion that we approve the application.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Tammy.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I also have a second application for exemption, Form 457 from the North Platte Opportunity Center for multiple vehicles. A 2010 Ford Cutaway van, a 2003 Econoline Ford, a 2006 Chrysler Town and Country, a 2010 Chevy Express van, a 2014 Dodge Grand Caravan, a 2009 Econoline Ford, and a 2016 Dodge Grand Caravan. All vehicles will be exclusively used for transportation needs for the adults with disabilities that the North Platte Opportunity Center serves. It has been reviewed and approved by Lincoln County Treasurer Alex Gerchulo. My motion is we also approve this application for exemption.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have a Form 457 application for exemption from motor vehicle taxes from the People's Family Health Services for a 2014 Toyota Sienna LXE to be used for charitable purposes, specifically for the WIC program travel and to provide services in other areas and for trainings. It has been reviewed and recommended for approval by the Lincoln County Treasurer. It would be my motion that we approve this in alignment with her recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote.
Bruns.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Hughley.
Mr. Chairman, I have another, I actually have, yes, I have another Form 457 application for exemption for motor vehicle taxes. This one is from the VSL North Platte Court LLC organization, to be used for charitable purposes. The vehicles included in this application are 2007 Ford F-250 truck, 2015 Chevy Impala, a 2010 Ford E-450, a 2005 Dodge Ram, and a 2017 Dodge Caravan. The owner is a nonprofit LLC with a single member, Vetter Senior Living, also known as VSL. The purposes of these vehicles is to be used for skilled nursing, assisted living, and home health and hospice facilities and agencies. They will be exclusively used in the purposes of providing these services as part of their nonprofit operations and for healthcare. It has been recommended for approval by our county treasurer. It would be my motion that we go ahead and approve this application as well.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. As I recall that when we had the conversation with the Vetter Group here 2-3 years ago on their nonprofit status, typically that would be a for-profit organization like most others, but I think we were quite insistent that they accept any and all applicants regardless of ability to pay. Am I correct on that?
I do remember that, yes.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bruns.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have Form 457 from First Baptist Church of Maxwell. This is an application for exemption for a 2000 Ford Eco-Van. They are claiming a religious exemption, travel with kids to camp, etc. This has been approved by Lincoln County Treasurer Alex Ruchulo. It would be my motion to accept this exemption.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have another Form 457 from Great Plains Health here in North Platte. This is for two vehicles, a 2002 United 14-foot enclosed utility trailer, I'm guessing, and then a 2017 Ford Super Duty XLT. They are claiming a charitable exemption, general hospital use. This has been approved by Lincoln County Treasurer Alex Gerchulo with a comment, not considered charitable, but will accept per state statute. It is my motion to accept this application for exemption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye. Is there anything else to come before the Board of Equalization? Tammy, do you have anything else? Vicki, do you have anything else? Okay, we will adjourn as the Lincoln County Board of Equalization and reconvene as the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners at 9:28, again abiding by the Open Meetings Act. Thank you. Okay,
That's it for here.
appreciate it. You know the typical me, don't you? It's 9:30. The next item is discuss, consider setting a date to receive bids for food vendor contracts for the Lincoln County Detention Center. I imagine there's some people on the west side of the room that might want to address that, is there? Please come forward and sign in and introduce yourselves, please. Good morning, Lieutenants.
Good morning.
Becky, I have paper. Good morning.
Contract. Good morning.
What's that?
Do you have
The original one?
the bid sheet or
No, we're just setting a date.
we're setting the date?
I'll lead off on this one, Mr. Chairman, since I've been communicating with Jerome about it. The current food vendor for the jail summit reached out to Jerome and I probably 3 weeks ago or so, wanting to have a meeting. So we set up a web meeting with Mr. Valamis, whereby they let us know that without a very substantial increase to the contract, they were unfortunately going to have to terminate our longstanding partnership. They were just losing too much money on the contract. Sheriff and I chatted with them a little bit about what kind of numbers they were looking at. We weren't real confident the board would go for that based on the very substantial increase. Anyway, we had him send those numbers along. Ultimately, Jerome took a look at those again and determined that was just something that he wasn't interested in even pursuing. There was an increase of about $100,000 a year.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Shoot.
It was six figures.
That's incredible.
So they have effectively given us the start of our 90-day termination notice. I believe that runs out on July 11th, is our drop dead date. And so we need to set a date to receive bids for a new food vendor. Normally, I think that would be probably 3 weeks down the road. But with the sheriff being in Guatemala, I let him know that we could probably set something a little farther down the road, that way he could come in and help work on RFP.
As long as it's not May 11th.
Yeah, please.
Is that something else going on?
Kind of a big deal.
Do we want to, do you guys have some kind of date in mind, 4 weeks down the road, 5 weeks? Are you gonna need some additional time to maybe do some homework and reach out to some people? That's just a question.
Well, I'll be honest, this will be my first RFP for any sort of contract of this magnitude. So I'm going to need the guidance of the sheriff. So I have little to no insight.
Sure.
On a date.
When is Sheriff Kramer due to be back?
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
Are there prospects out there for replacing this service that Summit has been providing?
There are, and there's a new one starting up. The people that provide our phone service are starting a food contract up, but I don't know if they're up and running enough to service our area.
Will the sheriff be back by next Monday, or will it be the following Monday?
We have 3 agenda items next Monday. before you, so he will be here Monday.
Okay, why don't we just, is it okay if we just put this off and address this item at that time?
I don't care, I told Drew I'd get it on the agenda in case
Yeah.
we wanted to set a date down the road.
Let's do that. Does that work for you or not?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's carry
Now
this,
he'll have 4 agenda items.
let's carry this item over until next weekend, okay?
That works.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Getting his input
Thank you,
on
Tyler.
having him participate in the discussion is
Oh, I agree.
Four hearings before 9 o'clock. That's the entirety of the hearings I've had in 2024.
We knew that was coming because they had already sent the letter earlier.
Thanks for coming and seeing us.
well, we've tried every year to try to change the contract.
I know, and thanks to him that we made him hold the line. Discuss, consider EECBG voucher program funds allocation.
I am the one that asked for this to be on the agenda. After receiving the bid last week for the spray foam project that we are going to use part of the EECBG voucher funds for, we were allocated $76,200 and the bid was $42,500. So that leaves us
43.7, is that right?
33.
Yeah, 33, I'm sorry.
33.7. I've had discussions with my fellow Building and Grounds Committee member, Ms. Chairman Woodruff, Booker Boyer from Building and Grounds, and then also I included Jason, who's been part of the voucher program. We took into consideration all of the county buildings, looking for more projects that we could use it for. And we came to the conclusion that our emergency management building that we will be constructing next month might be a great place to use some of these funds. If the project was for weatherization and energy efficiency. And I believe, I did ask Judy and Kevin from the city office if that would work into the program, and they said that it fits with winterization, weatherization, and energy efficiency. So if you guys recall, when we accepted the bids from Cleary on the emergency management building, insulating the ceiling was overlooked, and so we had put a plan in place for that. I believe this voucher program would work for insulating the ceiling and possibly, depending on how bids come in, possibly energy efficient lighting. We also plan down the road to put in a climate controlled room for all of emergency management's temperature and weather sensitive equipment. Just depending on how bids come in, potentially a mini split for that room. So I would just like to hear ideas from around this table and see if you guys have any input or ideas or.
The only questions that I had with this is I was under the initially, way back in the beginning, that this had to be used for existing buildings. It couldn't
No.
be used for new construction, because I thought we talked about maybe the probation building, utilizing some of it for that, but.
We could have used it in the probation building for the lighting, except we weren't gonna have approval back from the energy department on our application
right.
by the time the probation building needed to be done and paid for.
That's right.
So-
That spurs my memory, so.
Yeah. And we had already allocated ARPA funds for that project, so, but I participate in as many of the Zoom calls and conferences that they've had, there are communities that received enough allocation, they're actually putting up entire buildings with it. So, and that's one of the reasons I got Judy and Kevin involved, is especially Kevin. He's the one that pours through all the language and everything, and they said that it was for winterization, weatherization, and energy efficiency.
Well-
And that kind of fits for that
It
building,
Yes.
absolutely fits for that building.
and it covers an expense that we hadn't really counted on at the time and
Right.
when the bid was put out, and this would complete that project and be of value to the county.
I'm all for maximizing the potential of this grant money that we're receiving. I'm tickled that we were able to do what we are doing with the building, or the roads building, with regard to that insulation, and if we can extend these funds into the new building, I'm all for it.
My first priority, like Commissioner Woodruff said, was existing older buildings, and that's why Booker was one of my first conversations that I had, and then Jason, because we do have buildings out in the county that I am unfamiliar with, and they both assured me that the county's Building and Grounds Department has done a pretty good job of replacing windows, doors, and keeping things up. So we felt like this was a good expenditure of the funds. In order to get this work done in the emergency management building, we were going to potentially either have to allocate ARPA funding for it or collect more funds from the county taxpayer. So I feel like using the federal voucher program is a good way to go.
And there's a timing issue, that's why we needed it. Would you explain that
Yes.
too?
So initially, when they rolled this program out, the applications were due by April, and the program needed to be completed for whatever projects were approved by December 31st of 2024. They did extend the application process into the month of May, but to my knowledge, and I did confer with Judy and Kevin, we cannot confirm that the completion deadline was also pushed out. So we're gonna go with, we need to have this voucher program used before December 31st of this year. So we have some deadlines to pay attention to.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I appreciate the work that you've done, Commissioner Wooler, and going out and seeking those funds. I mean, it's going to make such a difference on the county shop, and I couldn't think of a better place to use it, so.
Now, we have to
Yep.
get some bids out for this work, is that correct?
We do not have to do another application to the Energy Department, because our initial application was to use the voucher program for weatherization, energy efficiency. So we don't have to do another application to them, but we will have to put the projects out for bid, in my opinion. Jason, do you agree?
I guess I'd have to look into those regulations on that.
You know,
County
whether,
purchasing, we have,
Purchasing.
Is it 50,000?
it's 50,000.
Tyler, what's
We
your
just have-
opinion there?
On the 50?
Yeah, I mean, we're not spending, the most we have is how much, 30?
33,700, I believe.
so do we try to get three
So it'd be
informal quotes?
informal quotes,
So we still have to follow county purchasing.
right.
So
Right.
it's pretty informal.
Mr. Chairman, as this is a discuss and consider, I would move that we utilize the remaining EECBG voucher program funds allocation that we've received from the federal government for the purposes of insulating the new emergency management building and authorize the seeking of 3 informal bids for that project.
Second, discussion. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna cost anywhere near $33,000 to insulate the ceiling. Can we also include energy efficient lighting and a mini split and get bids all at once, or should we just do one item at a time?
I would take that as a friendly amendment and modify that to include energy efficient lighting and, if possible, temperature control.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are going to vote on the amendment first, okay? All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say aye. We'll be voting on the original motion now, which
Question.
does include, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Question is do we need to set a date for those bids since that building is gonna be starting to be coming up here in the very near future?
It's informal, so I don't think we have to declare an actual bid
Okay,
date.
good.
So we just need to seek 3 bids, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Any
Since time
other,
is of the essence, I wanted to make sure of that.
Thank you.
any other discussions or questions? Roll call on the original motion.
Bruns,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye. Okay, so I'm guessing that our building committee will be forthwith following up with that program. Thank you.
I've actually already made some phone calls last week to put things in motion, so.
Totally surprised with
Yeah.
Counselor, do we need a closed session to discuss strategy with respect to deployment of security personnel and devices?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we go into closed session to discuss strategy with respect to deployment of security personnel and devices.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Who do you want to stay in the room?
I was just gonna say afterwards, who was gonna stay in this.
The chair or the commissioners,
Yeah.
Tyler?
During the closed session, there will be the 4 chair people, or the 4 commissioners, legal counsel, and the IT representative.
it. Do we need Becky in here?
She says no.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote.
Bruns.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
That was a pretty fast no, Becky.
You ready?
Yep.
Becky, you ready?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we
It's-
come,
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, go ahead, Chris.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we come into open session at 10:05 a.m.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion? Roll call vote?
Bruns?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Next item, discuss, consider an agreement with Nebraska Safety and Fire Equipment.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve the agreement with Nebraska Safety and Fire Equipment
Second.
and authorize the chairman to sign it.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Woodruff?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye.
Bruns?
Aye.
Hughley?
Aye. Any concerns from department heads, elected officials, or their representatives? Committee reports. Anybody wish to have a report to share with the board this week?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Wheeler and I attended the Regional Mutual Aid meeting. I think they have those quarterly. That was last Thursday. Jason Schultz and Brian Gloss were in attendance as well, and Brady. Kind of attended their quarterly meeting. Fire chief here in North Platte gave an update on the Betty's Way fire, which was kind of the, pardon the pun, but the hot topic of the evening. And it became very obvious that there were two very major obstacles in any fire, especially one that large. And I'll have Commissioner Wheeler speak on one of them, but that being water supply. But the one about communication was the one that probably stimulated the most discussion, and it was very discussion, because it appears as though the ability to communicate with all departments and all of the entities involved is a major obstacle. Sometimes there's too much communication we became aware of, or communication that wasn't necessarily necessary or pertinent, but there does appear to be some solutions to that, and it was discussed at length. So, Michaela, you want to touch upon the others, or expound upon that and the water situation as well?
Thank you, Commissioner Woodruff. First, just let me say, what a great meeting. What an incredible group of people, volunteers for the most part, serving our county. They were very appreciative to have elected officials join them, and I think Jerry and I both agree, we intend on continuing to attend their district meetings. I had already, after the wildfire mitigation meeting that was at the fairgrounds earlier this year, I had suggested at that meeting that we put something in motion to develop a voluntary registry of ag producers, homeowners, that had resources that they would be willing to share with the fire departments while they are out on fires. Primarily, the one I thought of was the rapid fill valves on pivots and water tanks that are all throughout our county. I have neighbors that have them, and the fire department has used them, and they said, as far as saving time and not having to drive back to fill out of the hydrants, in my neighborhood, there's one at Menards. That's quite a trip back into town. And so I wasn't sure how to get that message out efficiently. And so I talked to Bruce Sokol at the USDA office and Randy Sainer at the Extension office. And they have offered, if I draft up the request, to send it out to their list of ag people that have registered these rapid fill valves. So we're moving in a good direction there. I have the beginning of a list. It's gonna take some time. And it might take, rather than a bulk email going out, it might take some personal reaching out. So maybe I see if I can get consensus around this table, maybe each commissioner reaching out to some of the producers in their individual districts to encourage this cooperation. It's definitely in everybody's best interest. So, it was just a great meeting to hear the things that they talk about and
And the dedication, there's one fellow there that, I'm not sure that he enjoys having fires, but he enjoys being at them if they do occur.
yes.
He would drop everything and I'm sure there was more people like that in that room, but one fellow was very outspoken and in a good way. But I forgot one thing about the communication that really shocked me. Having whatever channel they're on, they need to be on, that's all a foreign language to me. They need to work that out. But there's a bank of radios available, I think in Lincoln, that could be sent with mobile units. They arrived here 2 days after the fire was put out, which is
It's not surprising.
a terrible idea. But the discussion was that those radios, or a portion of those, should be stationed, stored somewhere in greater Nebraska.
Yep.
Maybe our new emergency management building would be a good spot to have those, if we had the proper space and place for them. But anywhere in western Nebraska, or at least halfway across the state, would be a help, because they could be here post haste instead of 2 days after the fire was out.
I agree. I was shocked to learn that it took 2 days during a crisis to get equipment from Lincoln, Nebraska to North Platte. Had I known, I would have got my car and drove down there and got them.
Yeah, but if they're stationed in
if they're
Ogallala or
stationed,
Scotts Bluff or Kearney, it wouldn't take very long in an emergency for somebody to go get those.
Yep.
But if they were in North Platte, I'm a little prejudiced here, but being the capital of western Nebraska, I think that's a good idea, personally.
Well, and if our mission to build this emergency management building and put a climate-controlled, temperature-controlled, dust-controlled room in there, I think it would be a great location.
Fire Chief Thompson was gonna be working on that, and we will have more discussions in that regard.
Yes.
He was the one that brought that up, and he was as shocked as I was when he told me that. When he learned it, he was shocked as well.
The other thing I think that was so good about, there's a lot to be said for coming together and being in the same room with people and looking them in the eye. Ever since, we've had many fires in the last 4 years here. After the last 2 fires, Jason Schultz from the road department and I have been working on trying to get heavy equipment operator training for fire response, because we do save county resources up to these fires. Trying to communicate through state agency websites and emails, we kept getting diverted to other departments, and we would think that we had the training figured out, and then somebody would say, well, no, that's not really what you need. I was getting very frustrated. And at this meeting, sitting at the table behind us, was a young man from the state fire marshal's office. And we connected with him. We have the things just happened. One conversation led to another. He called other people over to our table, and we have the training. It'll be, they're bringing it to us.
Yeah.
And we will be inviting other agencies. I think, Commissioner Woodruff, would you like to address the conversation you had with Jason this morning about other entities that we could include?
Oh, yeah, not only our operators, because as I understand, you don't have to plow a furrow with a grader. All you have to do is get the vegetation off, and you don't have near as much cleanup afterwards, or rehabilitation afterwards is probably a better word. But folks from Western Engineering and other construction operations that provide water trucks. But Jason is on top of that, and having him have that discussion with a representative from the Nebraska State Fire Marshal's office was absolutely a,
Yeah,
that was just very much an extra.
instead of getting bounced around from one department to the other, we've got it locked in
Yeah.
and we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they didn't serve too bad of a meal either. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't, I didn't
Those
see
guys
how.
can cook.
And, oh, by the way, they started out the meeting with a demonstration from Paul Grass in regards to
Yes.
carbon dioxide.
CO2.
And I learned a great, even though I have a minor in chemistry, I learned a great deal about the behavior of CO2 in relation to a pipeline rupture or such. These folks are on top of that, and they had made a great demonstration about how emergency response people could and should respond to those emergencies. So that was kind of an extra bonus. I wasn't planning on that, but
And they're gonna continue that training moving forward too with first responders.
oh, yeah, oh, yeah. In
Another-
fact, one of the fellows, excuse me, Michaela, but one of the fellows that gave the demonstration was on a plane the next morning down to Texas to further his training, and he will be a trainer.
Back to the fire training, after we do it with the roads department and other heavy equipment operators in the county, I would like to explore offering a class for farmers and ranchers and acreage owners, because a lot of times they're the first persons to arrive at the scene of a wildfire with their tractors and their discs. And Kyle Gartrell from Keith County was sharing so much information with us about, fires, have a nature and you have a life, and tapping that resource and having them educate farmers and ranchers, I think will be a good partnership. So,
Did I mention they had pretty good cookies afterwards? Oh. No, it was very worthwhile, and they meet quarterly, is that correct, Michaela?
yes.
I think it's quarterly.
Quarterly, and their meeting moves around the district, different districts.
And most of the folks in attendance were Lincoln County residents, but some were from Red Willow County, some were from Custer
Custer
County.
County, was Furnace
Frontier County usually has some-
Frontier County maybe was
Yeah.
the other one, and Keith County.
And Keith County.
So,
I try to make
great
at least
meeting.
one of those a year.
I mean to tell you what, it was,
They're good.
On to other committees. West Central Nebraska Development District had their monthly meeting Wednesday night out at Mid Plains Community College. Great update on the rural workforce housing project that they are doing in the community of Imperial. I went to their groundbreaking down there probably less than 3 weeks ago, and they are already under construction. So moving forward, moving quickly, solving housing issues in our rural communities. So that's always a great meeting. And then my Rotary luncheon last week, we had Secretary of State Bob Evans was there to do a update on election information. And after the meeting was over, he came over to me intentionally and wanted to share compliments for Becky Russell and our election commissioner and her team of volunteers. Becky, he said just the most glowing things about you and how you handle Lincoln County's elections. So that was great to hear.
I know it takes a lot of people to make that big.
Yeah, so he recognized you specifically, so I wanted to share that.
Did you spend a little time with him after the meeting, Becky?
Yes, he came to visit me.
Not anything else, I want Chris to talk just a minute. I think the 29th, next week, we're gonna try to have an update on our explosion thing. I know I met with Chris and some other people. Chris has kind of followed up on this, met with Tammy, and I think you guys are gonna try to get together again this week maybe too, aren't you?
Yeah, we have a final report that we're putting together for the rail car explosion, so I've identified gaps in the emergency response plans and look forward to having that report out for everybody to see and get that sent off to the Union Pacific and continue dialogue with that organization moving forward, so.
Okay,
And Kent and I have a meeting with you next Monday, correct? Yes, okay.
More to come next week on that.
yeah. And Jerry, I know you won't probably be able to be there, but Christopher and I think probably plan on attending a sort of a forum to allow the citizens of Lincoln County to meet their,
It's election, we can't, don't.
oh,
This is now a polling place where we're voting.
okay.
We can talk about food.
Yeah, that was more of a PSA.
Anything. Just looking out for you.
Well, I thank you, I agree. I totally agree, thank you.
See you, Todd.
If I don't make it, you guys go ahead and start it out.
You're an
Young lady, do you want
cuss,
to comment?
Jerry.
Pardon me?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just so y'all know, this will be about the only invoice that you see for the courthouse HVAC repair and fix.
What was it?
I noticed
No, I
some
mean,
work
what
out in
was it?
Fixing
the grass.
the tube that used to run out the window.
That's what he's
Grass.
talking about. Same thing.
I would not have looked at it in that way, but okay.
I knew you were both on the same, not wavelength, same message.
That's a pretty minor invoice for a pretty major fix, thanks to our good partners at the city.
Just one time,
Hello,
or-
good morning, good morning.
One and done.
Well,
and we get to pocket the $500,000.
the real test will be this summer, right?
Yeah.
The real test will be this summer, when all the AC units are kicking in.
I thought we were gonna go without AC this summer. No?
Not if you want me in the building.
Ooh.
Did I tell you, have I told you that I get grouchy that I'm hot?
You haven't said it, but we've noticed.
I have said it, it's not a secret.
Some things don't have to be mentioned.
It brings a whole new meaning to hot and
It goes without saying, Michaela. I'm the same way.
I'm okay.
Are you ready?
Outdoors.
We done with claims?
We're done.
Are we working here, kid?
Yeah, we're working.
All right.
Oh,
So, yeah, we talked a little bit about
Tammy
the
asked me to pass this around.
EECDG grant. That's a federal grant
looked
for
at it.
enhancing energy. And we used, I think, around 40,000 of that 70,000 grant to reinsulate the county shop in dire need of insulation. So those guys that work at our shops will appreciate that. And voted to use the remaining funds on our new emergency management building for our emergency management vehicle. It would be a command center vehicle. And also perhaps put a conditioned room in there so that equipment, radios, those kinds of things can be stored in there. So, it's a way to use $72,000 of federal funds that doesn't have to come directly from the taxpayers' dollars in Lincoln County. So, something we're excited about, and will help the county out tremendously. And the same taxpayers probably have to know it's Lincoln County. So, it's a good grade. Sure, the emergency management vehicle is a, what do we call it, renovated bus.
We should still be good.
A large van that will be used as an emergency command center, either on large fires, on disasters of any kind, where different first responders can go in there and get information. There'll be direct links via satellite with National Weather Service, different police agencies, for example, sheriff departments. So it will allow us to go on site to any emergency in Lincoln County and set up a command center right at that point, rather than trying to go back and forth between North Platte or, telephone conversations. Just, it's not effective. Either a wildfire or some explosion, any other kind of hazard that might happen. So it's just a good way to allow the emergency management department to coordinate with other agencies right on the scene.
Now, can you also explain about the food vendor at the Lincoln County Detention Center? Why is that in the?
Well, we've been having conversations over the past probably couple of years with our current food vendor. And they feel they're needed to have a rather large increase because of cost of food, et cetera.
That goes in
We'll
here.
talk to the sheriff. He does
Joe will have to do it also, and Ken.
Continuing discussions on those large of increases. So we're going to try to seek bids from other vendors. This was basically a 90-day notice from that vendor. We'll start seeking out other vendors and try to get bids for the food service for the coming years.
Okay, so those vendors decided to stop working with you guys because of the cost?
Because they wanted more money than we were willing to give. That's the bottom line.
Gotcha. Now, can you explain to me why you decided to move it to next Monday?
Well, Lincoln County Sheriff happens to be in Guatemala. And so with him out of town, or I should say, at least he's out of county and wasn't available today. And so he'll be back next week. And I think those kind of conversations that affect his department directly, he has to be a critical part of that discussion.
Sounds good. The last thing is, you had on the agenda was the Nebraska safety and fire equipment. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I really can't. It had to do with the deployment of
Yeah.
security devices with that throughout the courthouse or other county properties. That's really about all I can say.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else you must add that I didn't ask you?
No, I think you did good.
All right.
That's too much. Thank you.
Ashante, do you work all weekend?
Yes.
Do ya?
Yes.
And then your days off are in the middle of the week, or do you ever really
Yeah,
get a
like
good?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
Good. Have you had time to go out and explore our county a little bit?
Yeah, I've been to, Powell's for like their, bingo nights on Thursday.
That's the music bingo?
Yeah, so that's
That is
really
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I was gonna call, Dusty Trails to do some horseback riding. I think that'd be something fun.
When it gets warmer, you'll have to do the tanking out there with them, going down the river. That's a fun thing.
I don't know about that, we'll have to see. But yeah, so I've been to Five Below. I can't wait for TJ Maxx to open.
Oh, I'll see you there. That's
Yeah.
my favorite store.
So need-
I drive all the way to Grand Island to go to it.
Oh, yeah. need
Now I won't
some
have to.
Business casual clothes, I'm kinda like running out now. Yeah, besides that, I think that's about it. So I always, since the Visit North Platte came here, now I look at their events to see what's happening.
It's a great calendar.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
I don't, Becky said somebody must have made a private donation.
I don't think I did, so,
Maybe we all made a private donation?
oh,
Oh, that's the one that Kent was collecting for.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know the name.
Yes.
You had that to sign, Jen? There was a bunch of them, Joe.
oh, more than one page, sorry about that. I tried to get off easy with one.
All right, have a good week, guys.
You
too.
too.
All right, thank you. Your red bill.
Okay,
Red bill,
all right, kid.
that's 2 weeks. I do have full worker training all this week, so I will be gone out of the office. Then we'll be back on Friday.
How are you?
We're gonna be over at the sheriff's office training room. New technology this time, so.
How are you doing with filling all those slots?
I got just enough poll workers and a few extra.
Oh, good.
There are counties that are still trying to find large counties, that's what all have.
I
The
shared,
text my gov got me what I needed.
Good.
I shared that with people that had made remarks to me that they were interested too. So I think that's, yeah.
There were a few people that I will keep on my list that I've got to reach back out to, and thank them for submitting their name and information.
Do you have anything else, Mr. Chairman?
No, unless you do. I was hoping we could just kind of stay around, have some camaraderie, and, you know, we're really dedicated till noon, and Jerry, you don't mind staying around till noon, do you?
Stay around about another 30 seconds, yeah. I'll be
Well, I think I kind of got the message. Any other items come before the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners?
Nope.
We're adjourned at